truth. So yes, I am with you today, but there's been a change of direction of what we're doing. You can see on those chairs back there, please. It's better. Sorry. Yeah, rather than doing the same best method, I've had to change plans, and you're going to find out soon enough, very quickly. Welcome for a start. It's a pleasure to be with you. I know that for the last 6 weeks there's been at least 5 cancellations. I think this is the 6th cancellation of the Sam Best method. You're going to find out why today, and I'm going to call this my second Saturn return. All right, so that's the new title. All right, guys. And this is going to be this is going to be a. I'm going to be sharing my screen. There will be no camera. One of the reasons for that is because I don't want to be seen today. Last night I didn't sleep, and I'm going to explain some recent technological attacks that I've had that have been trying to sabotage me, probably kill me. So whether or not you are aware of, yeah, I will. Not yet. Yeah. Okay. So whether or not you are aware of targeting and the use of meters and radio waves since the First World War, the US military has had the worldwide, I guess, self-given authority to torture and control humanity through radio waves. Whether you know this or not, it doesn't matter. That's what's going on. Now, some of us are more targeted than others because some of us are vocal and dangerous to the system. But everyone in general is targeted. That means you, the listener. Right? And this is why a lot of people stay under the radar. They've got a lot of information, more than me, but they don't go public. And I knew that I would be persecuted and tortured when I first realised what I had learned and woken up to in 2007. I remember having a conversation with my mother, telling her that I was going to have a YouTube channel and I was going to teach this stuff, and I was talking to her intelligently and at length about what I was learning. And she warned me, she said, "Son, they'll come after you." And 15 years later, I've had 15 years of sleep deprivation and itching torture, a murder attempt, which failed, he got killed while trying to murder me, and 2 jail terms, one in 2014, one in 2015 by the Australian government, who ran a nationwide publicity campaign to make me look like a fool, and who illegally imprisoned me the second time, which took me, after 7 weeks of jail, took me, I think it was about 6 months to recover. I don't know what they put in the food or what they did, whether they chipped me or whatever, but the itching increased more so since 2015. But definitely started 2007 when the logarithms of the AI intelligent beast system picked up the fact that I was researching all of these very, very interesting things and coming up with syncretism. And 4 years later, opened my first YouTube channel, exposing some of the darkest secrets of this system, this world, which is caused me to be a targeted individual or a person of quote-unquote interest. Persons of interest known to the system. You know, if you go to the doctor, for instance, they'll want your medical record and they'll look at the computer and there'll be a little red, there'll be a colour code for you. You know, if it's red, that's a dangerous person to the system, a freak. Person of interest is what they usually get, person of interest. At airports as well, when they scan your eyes and they want all your data. Yeah, we're called persons of interest. And they've gone after us more so with the recent events in the last 2 years. I won't do too much talking because I don't want this video to go down, because essentially what I'm going to do, let me start sharing my screen, is talk about my second Saturn return so you can understand astrologically what's going on. And I'm going to announce a change of plan whereby I am not going to announce when I will be doing my presentations, because with precision timing, I have been tortured when before I have a radio show, an interview, or anything important where they know they can read your mind. The AI intelligence knows all your thoughts. Okay, so forget about thinking you're having some private thoughts about someone. It knows everything you're thinking. Okay. Now, since I announced 2 months ago that I was going to do Sam Best's method and it was going to be a game changer and it was going to be the best of the best of the best of my material, and it will absolutely destroy every false fiction this world has ever been taught, I've been sabotaged, okay? I'm going to talk about that and I'm going to show you how to understand this, dear friends, because you need to protect yourself. Remember, you are not me, but you are generally, everyone is, being targeted. This is why some people get depressed, go to the doctors. Doctors have got the medication already ready for them. It's scripted, they know. They just go to the computer. Oh, yes, this guy's depressed. Okay, well, we've got this medication. How about, let's put you on this for a week and then see how you go. And if it helps, good, well and good. Otherwise, come back and we'll give you something stronger. And other people get fat and overweight because their DNA is destroyed by what the doctors give them, or what the American military since 1918 has been doing to people. Other people get suicidal. Other people get voice to skull, which is voices in their head which they can never. The technology that does voice to skull is very unique. I saw a video recently where the guy who invented it was showing off how he was walking through a library, in a library, and he was pointing his device to individuals and sending them messages, saying, "Hello, I'm watching you. I can see the book you're reading," and the person's looking around going, "What the hell? Someone's talking to me," and they're looking around. Podemos bajar la el aire, por favor? Que hace muy frío, mucho frío. Sorry guys, I just need that air conditioning down. I'm not prepared. It's roasting hot outside and I've just got a singlet on because I knew I wouldn't be on camera. So I'm just wearing this singlet. Freezing. So you're hearing these messages all day long being tortured. Now, I've never had those messages, but I can rest you assured that I have been agitated every single day since I've been doing syncretism. Hence the reason why you'll see a little bit of madness in some of my videos where I attack people and get angry a lot, and people often say, "Oh, you're too angry, Santos. Oh, you've got a lot of anger," blah, blah, blah. They've got no idea the torture that I'm going through. It's not an excuse. I'm not excusing any bad behaviour. This will be judged, and I will be the one that will bear the brunt of that. So it's none of your business at all. And if you get offended, well, it's your stupid ego. And you got to kill that stupid ego. okay? Because it's the message, not the messenger, okay? It's syncretism that's the hero, it's not me. I'm no one's hero, I'm not even my own hero. In fact, I'm embarrassed of my behaviour and some of the stupid things that I do and who I am and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, syncretism is the hero. And it's like if someone brings you, 6 pounds of gold on a donkey, someone ugly, hunchbacked, diseased, leprosy, and they knock on your door and they say, "Excuse me, dear sir, I've brought you this gold on this little donkey, and you look at the person and you think, oh my God, you dry reach, they're so ugly, and this little donkey, and you get offended and you think, what, you're going to bring me some gold on a donkey, you ugly freak? Are you going to send him away? You're going to curse that man because he brought you some gold? Or you're going to say, without trying to be rude, and obviously no one likes to see ugly people. It does affect you, right? But accept that gold and the gift that it is and how precious it is. Or attack him and send him away. And that's unfortunately what a lot of people do. They'll see the messenger and they'll say, "Oh, that guy looks like an idiot. He doesn't know what he's talking about." So they'll turn it off, and that's their loss. That's the moment they lose. It's the ones who say, "Okay, well, this guy looks crazy, blah blah, and he's talking stuff that I've never heard before, but I'll give him a chance." Well, that's you guys that are here right now listening. You've given me a chance. All right? Because I am you and you are me, and what you like in me is what you like in you, and what you don't like in me is what you don't like in you. But you resonate with the truth because it is the truth. I'm the donkey. I'm the ugly hunchback bringing you the gold. Right? So, and that's, I've always considered it to be my duty, and I do it well. I've always been a good teacher. I used to teach music, and I could teach a guitarist to be professional in 4 months. I did that with several guys, and they've gone on to have great careers. And that's because I know how to teach. Some people just don't know how to teach. Either you're a good teacher or you're not a good teacher, and that's one thing I'm good at: knowledge and teaching, not wisdom. I've always admitted that I'm not very good with that, nor am I good with my temper. But I can tell you for sure, dear friends, that the reason for a lot of my temper and poor behaviour has been manipulation by the system, the AI system, who's made sure that they've interfered with everything I've ever done. And since I announced that I was going to do four public sessions of the Sam Best method, every Tuesday I've been awakened in between 2 and 4 the night before with excruciating itching, vicious skin itching, heart palpitations. Heart is just pounding out of my chest, and shortness of breath, which I'm still suffering with right now. Right now I feel like there are razor blades in my body, in my eyes, in my brain, in my gut, mostly, and in my lungs, mostly. Or little shards of glass, like graphene oxide turned on wild. And you're going to see graphene oxide in a minute. I'm going to show you all this. Show you the technology they're using. So this is a twofold. What I'm doing today is I'm going to show you how they're targeting all of us, and I'm going to show you how astrologically you will see this right in my chart. Here is my Saturn return right now, guys. Nick, I can see you there on screen. Can you nod if my screen is sharing? Okay, so you can see my cursor here? All right, dear friends. The green Saturn on the outside there, is right on top of my 19-degree natal Saturn in Aquarius. Right now, retrograding. Now rest assured, this is causing havoc in the world to everyone, let alone to me. You just have to go to Mr. Astrotheology. So we're going live to Mr. Astrotheology, guys. Let me just check that too, by the way. Yeah, there I am. Okay, I'll change the title. I see that there's nearly 300 people listening right now. Didn't expect that. All right, so you can see there right now, let's have a look down here. The green is the transiting planets, the blue are the natal planets. Let's go down to Saturn, 19 degrees, and look at that. Transiting Saturn is 19 degrees. My age is 59. This is my second Saturn return, which is way more deadly than the first, which was, I'll get to that in a minute. My son was born that year. 1992, I turned, I was 29. I'll get to that. But that was hell as well. But I'm going to now explain astrologically what's going on with my chart. Because people need to know this. It's very, very important. I need people all around me, dear friends, supporters. Actually, I'm very blessed. I have some of the best people around me right now helping me. And the support I've got is just incredible. It's phenomenal. But apart from that, I've got great support all around the world. The love, the amount of love that I get from people is extraordinary. And I want to say thank you to everyone. You know who you are, who support me and send me prayers and strength. All right, is everything okay? Okay. I'm just getting some distractions here. I need to... All right. Okay, so as you can see, what does Saturn do when Saturn returns? Well, Saturn is the Saturn is the planet of heaviness. All right, it's a heavy planet. Mars, if that were Mars, that would be war. If it were Venus, it would be love. Mercury would be communication. Yeah, look, maybe don't worry about it, please. Brenda, I need to keep going. This is distracting me. Yeah, I'm sorry. I need stillness in the studio. Okay. That's what happens when you get tortured, okay? You get very pedantic and particular and want to do things right. All right, so this Saturn alone in Aquarius, in its ruling planet of the age, is already causing havoc. You can imagine what it's doing to me right now. So I'm going to get to this. This is going to be part of today's session, which is called, today's video is My Second Saturn Return. So that people can see astrologically how I'm being affected, and I'll also discuss the physical, the secular stuff that's going on as well. So Saturn is the planet of death. Saturn is the planet of heaviness, and rest assured, I'm carrying a nice load lately. It's been very burdensome. You may recall in December I nearly died. If we go back to December, there's my December chart. There's Saturn right here. Saturn was 11 degrees Aquarius. And you can see this is the house of ill health, the 6th house, okay? So the 6th house, look what I had. Pluto, Venus retrograding, and Mercury and Saturn, 4 planets. And I nearly died. I lost a lot of weight. I was way, way, way skinnier than I am now. I'm still pretty skinny, but I'm doing all right. But Saturn causes you to lose weight. He's the grim, emaciated reaper. So 59 is one of the biggest years of people dying, by the way. If you research a common year of death, after the 50s, you'll find that it's 59-60 when Saturn returns. So death, it's the planet of death. It's heavy. It keeps you unhealthy, especially skinny if you are skinny. It puts a lot of pressure on you in terms of structure and discipline. Frustrates your efforts and causes things around you to go wrong. Now, October's coming up, and I've had 3 years of traumatic Octobers in a row, especially the middle of October. And October is the month that Saturn rules every year of my life in the Babylonian cards of destiny or cards of truth system, which Logan does. Logan uses the system. You'll know Logan Jason Petit, who's part of the academy. That system there, everyone is ruled by those 52 Babylonian cards. The first one starts at your birthday. The first planet is Mercury, then Venus, then Mars, then Jupiter, then Saturn, then it's Uranus, and then Neptune is always the last planet before your next birthday. And Saturn always turns up in September and finishes on the 17th of October. Now let me tell you what's happened. Now please remember, here's Saturn in December when I nearly died. I brought myself back to life, guys, through protocols, just sticking to my protocols, going out on the beach every day, having a swim, being in the sun, hydrogen water, etc. You know the ones that I do. You know the ones that I promote. It's tissue salts. I brought myself back to life. By late December, I was putting weight on just on fruit and vegetables, vegan diet. I put 16 kilos on in 5 weeks. Now there are people who say, "Oh, you have to have animal protein and you have to have some eggs and cheese if you want to put weight on, and some protein shakes." I did none of that. Okay, I had bananas and apples, and I put 16 kilos on, and I restored my health. And by the time my birthday come around at March 24th, I was at the peak of my health. And then, bang, again, I started losing weight. Because Saturn, there was another alignment which I won't go into. You can check it out. Here's my details here. Born March 24th, 1963 in Wangaratta. It's actually Myrtle Ford, but it doesn't turn up in this in Astro Digest. So I've put Wangaratta where I went to school in Victoria, Australia. I've put that there. You can do this. Time I was born, 4:19 p.m, and you can go to my birthday. Well, let's do it now. Let's do it now. I'd rather be thorough here. 24th of March 22. This is when things started going downhill again. There you go, Mars. Mars was right here on the DC. The DC is sunset. This is a death point, okay? When Mars is on the death point, people have died. They say if the sun is rising and Mars is on the DC, the baby will die. The ancient astrology will die within a week if this happens. And I've seen it in the chart of people who've had stillborns and babies who have died. I've seen it many times. Mars is right here. And this is another point of death here, the IC. The IC is the tomb of midnight and the DC is the tomb of sunset. The AC, of course, is the strongest point and the MC is the career point. These two are virtuous, these 2 points, the AC and the MC, glory. And these points are dangerous because this house here is the house of ill health. And then my health started to decline again. And look where Saturn was at my birthday. There you go. Saturn, 21 degrees. It was before my birthday. I started feeling not well again. And I lost weight. I went back down, dropped another 7 kilos. And I've been struggling with that since September, the start of September. So it's only been a month that I've really restored a little bit of weight back on. So I'm doing all right in that department. So this is when things started going bad again, right? So but let me bring you to the current. Here we are, current. Okay, there's Saturn. Now, Saturn will go retrograde till the 23rd of October. Now remember, Saturn rules in my chart till the 17th of October. Let me recount to you what's happened in the last 3 years. On the 13th and the 16th of October of each year since 2019. In 2019, I was in Eugene, Oregon, and it was a full moon in Aries. In fact, let me do that chart right now, guys. Let me show you the day a 6'2" big ex-Canadian hockey player came with a baseball bat and a sharp knife to murder Molly and me. And he was bashing her to death. I heard her scream and I ran in bare hands, as skinny as I am now, with no weapons. I ran in there to save her life. He'd already bashed her twice with a baseball bat in the head and he was about to kill her with a third blow. And I burst in there with a thunderous noise and managed to grapple the all I saw was a baseball bat. I grabbed that baseball bat and he lunged. He fell on top of me, on the couch. I landed on the couch, and this big, massive bear of a man, I'm only 5'7", landed on my back, and I remember it was like, whoa, he's broken my back and my neck. And there was a struggle, and then I heard this steel thing coming out of a knife coming out of some sort of a leather pouch, and I thought, oh my God, this guy's serious, he's got a knife. And I reached and grabbed and cut my hands, 3 fingers. I sliced them, it was like razor sharp. And I realised, God damn, this is on. And the angels were with me that day. Without going into detail, Molly and I prevailed, we overcame. Within 15 minutes, he bled to death. The police were there. This was the 13th of October. Let's do this right now. 13th of October. I'd only been in the United States 2019. I'd only been in the United States for 2 months and a week. I came on August the 11th, 2019. Flew into San Francisco from Melbourne. Stayed with Jamie Lee on his ranch near Sacramento, just north of San Francisco. Philo, or Boonsville, just near Boonsville, in Sonoma County. And then I decided to do some touring of syncretism. So I was invited to go up to Portland, Oregon. And on the way, I stayed at Molly's place for a week with my driver, Mari. Molly was a syncretist. She and the guy who came to kill both of us were following my channel for years. And Molly was a big fan of syncretism. And she was running Fairy Worlds, one of the great Oregon festivals where you dress up in ancient attire and you have a musical festival for a weekend, 3 days. And she used to run stage 2 for over 20 years. And she wanted me to stay at her place for a week and discuss how we could bring syncretism to Fairy World and to the world. And I accepted the invitation on the way up. Actually, I didn't stay on the way up. First I met her in Eugene and then drove up to Portland and did my presentation. Then on the way back, because I was going to do a presentation in Montague near Mount Shasta, and then San Francisco and Sacramento and all those presentations I did in 2019. So I was on a mission, but I had a week and we stayed with Molly, Mari and I. Mari slept in her car outside the garage where I was sleeping, and this was the day. You can see it was a full moon in Aries, okay? 13th of October. Look where the moon is, in the house of death, the 8th house. Chiron was there, wounds. And here I was supposed to die that day. I've seen many deaths in charts when the moon is transiting the 8th house. It was a full moon in Aries. I'm Aries. Mari, my driver, was Aries, and Molly, whom I was staying with, was an Arian. We were all Arians. It was a Sunday. We were all going to get up and have a great, beautiful Sunday, full moon in Aries, and celebrate the moon in Libra, sun in Libra, and the Aries full moon. And we were talking about it the night before. We all said good night. And at 8 o'clock in the morning, there was a knock on the door. And that occurred. Okay, so that was the first October in the series of 3 that I'm going to talk about. You'll see other things here too as well. You'll see Mars in Libra. When Mars is in detriment in Libra, and I was already talking about this. I was saying to Mari and Molly, who are both astrologers, many partnerships and marriages are going to be dissolved in the next month as Mars transits Libra, because Libra is the house of partners. Of course, all Librans are very partner-oriented. And when Mars is in Libra, watch out for 2 things. Your partner leaving you, dying, or some arguments or disaster to happen in your partnership, or something to do with justice or bad judgment. Very, very poor judgment. So already this was my chart. You could see the only thing that saved me was Jupiter. Look at where Jupiter is in Sagittarius, was trining perfectly with the moon. And Firmicus Maternus says if Jupiter is trining with any troubled planet, the outcome will be good. Even though the fate that the determiner planet is trying to provoke is in a bad house, if Jupiter is trining any bad planet which will signify death or sickness, you will be spared. So I checked the time, 8:30 in the morning. You can do it yourself. You'll find that Jupiter, 19 degrees Sagittarius, was trining the moon, which was around about, I think it was somewhere like 15 or whatever, in the middle of Aries. This is not 100% accurate where the moon is. The moon was about here at 8 o'clock in the morning. So I see Jupiter in red Sagittarius fire was perfectly trining with the moon, and that was my salvation. Otherwise, that moon would have been my death. Now, the next year, 2020, we know that was the year when the world changed. My ex-girlfriend, who was from California and whom I came to the Americas for, she woke up early one morning sweating, and her house was burning down all around her. And she managed to get out in the nick of time. Everything she and her boyfriend lost everything. She got out, she bumped her head and nearly killed herself getting out because she couldn't see anything. I think all she grabbed was her phone, and she was stark naked and ran down the road and looked back, and her house was burning down. And that was on a new moon on October 16. So we've got October 13 full moon, 2019. That was very traumatic for me. And it was also very traumatic for me with my ex-girlfriend because I still had strong feelings for her. And her mother called me within hours of it happening, and then I called her and consoled her, and it was very traumatic for her. She was crying, and I just couldn't believe it. It was just like I remembered, because I was still in the anniversary of the trauma that I experienced the year prior, and this was a new moon. Now I can't show you her chart because I would be violating. It's not wouldn't be ethical, but I could show you some of the stuff that was going on as well. Some of the transits in her fourth house, which is the home, and something bad was going to happen to her home and the squares and everything. And her chart also showed that she was going to have a bad new moon. I had a bad full moon the year before, and then the next year, the person I loved the most in the world nearly died as well. So we both escaped death. Still within the 17th of October, when Saturn's last day in the Babylonian card system, when Saturn ends his rulership every year in my life, and I always have bad Octobers. So it's very appropriate that I'm talking to you now because it's September the 28th, right? You can see right here, it's September the 28th for future viewers. And Saturn remains retrograde. Saturn will be retrograde until the 23rd of October. So this heaviness is not yet over. So what I'm announcing today is I'm going to be doing the Sam Best method randomly. You will not be given notice. Because the AI system, the logarithms, whenever I announce I'm going to do something, that night I get sabotaged. Same thing. Wake up 2 o'clock in the morning, can't breathe, the heart palpitations, I'm going crazy. There's nothing I can do. Usually I take 2 or 3 Valiums, but I'm not doing that anymore. You know, I mean, I don't make a practice of taking Valiums. But Valium, I had Valium with me last night, but I didn't want to take it because I I don't do pharmaceuticals. I don't do any stimulants. I don't do coffee. I don't do cannabis. I don't do tobacco. I don't do alcohol. Never have done alcohol. It's totally disgusting and demonic. And I do no stimulants at all whatsoever. I've got a half a teaspoon of cacao in my smoothie that I'm drinking right now. That's it. That's natural. So I don't do the pharmaceuticals, and so I knew that today I was going to have to cancel the whiteboard stuff. Firstly, because I wasn't going to show my face. I look like death warmed up to anyone, because I've done enough of that. If you look at half of my presentations, you will see that I don't look well. And those were the presentations and interviews that I couldn't say no to, because I'd cancelled and cancelled and cancelled due to this torture that I've been going through too many times, and I had to keep my honour. So despite looking like death warmed up, I just went ahead and did it anyway. And you'll see in one video I look half alive and okay, yeah, Santos is looking pretty healthy. And then the next video you'll go, oh my God. Now, how do I know this? Well, because I've got a family back home that call me. I remember once after the Oregon time, I had to do a show, and I knew I was really not looking good for a month. My sister calls and she says, "Are you all right? You look really sick." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm all right. Don't worry about me. You know, I'm a survivor. I'm strong. I've got a lot of. I was born very, very healthy and fit, and I always will be. They're not gonna kill me, guys. So don't worry. They would have done that a long time ago. You know, there's been far better people and worthier people than me who have been knocked off. You know that they're killing people left, right, and centre. You know, doctors who speak up, naturopaths, alternative practitioners, truth tellers. I've known personally more than 20 people who have been with these weapons who have been who've died of cancer or heart attacks or direct energy weapons, and since I revealed to the world in 2017 my itching problem, which I was never going to do. I was going to keep it a secret, but I couldn't. I didn't want people to know that what I was going through. But in 2017, I realised I'm just going to have to tell people this, because I've got to get help. It's getting worse, especially after jail. And so I revealed it in a podcast, and then I started getting targeted people from all around the world with the same symptoms as me, telling me, yeah, I've got the itch. I've got what you've got. I've got they wake you up in the middle of the night, they make you angry, they agitate you, they aggravate you, you react to everything. And, some of those people, they've passed on. I have no communication. All of a sudden, I don't get any communications from them, and I'm writing to them, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And no reply. And these people have been taken out, guys. They've been taken out. They were in touch with me, had the same symptoms as me, and they're gone. Why I'm still around when I have the most dangerous message for this AI system? Why I'm still around, I don't get it. I really don't. But rest assured, come mid-October, this could be my death. Saturn, right, because Saturn's going to go to the 18th degree, it's going to pass my degree, it's going to stop at 18, and on the 23rd of October, then it's going to go direct, and it will be out of Aquarius right on my birthday in March next year. So I will still be in the forest. I'll still be in the danger zone until my birthday, March next year. But after October, things will start getting better for me. November should be when things will be really, really good, health-wise, and this return will be on its way out. Now, I don't want anybody thinking, oh no, don't talk about death, and don't worry. We're all immortal. Everything is eternal. I'm not scared of death. I've been through it. I survived it. Not scared at all. In fact, if there was a euthanasia button right here next to me right now, I would press it. If it was the honourable way out, and I'd finished my work here on Earth, and there was such a thing that you could choose to opt out of this disgusting plane, I'd press it right now. The show'd be over. I wouldn't even say goodbye. So I don't want anybody sitting there going, don't even talk about it, or I don't want any suspicious people or anybody to be, worried at all. If I should die come the 15th, the 13th to the 17th, 16th of October or whatever, be happy for me, okay? But I won't. I'm pretty sure I won't. I can see beyond the chart that I'm going to survive it. But death is, I can name a list of I've already done the list of what Saturn brings. One of those, of course, is death. He's the Grim Reaper. He's the one who carries the sickle or the scythe and knocks on your door, dressed very emaciated in black, knocks on your door the night before you die. This generally happens to everyone. And they get a knock on the door, and the Grim Reaper says, you're coming with me. So, as you can see, this is happening right now. The Grim Reaper is right there pressing on me, okay? I need people to understand astrologically what's going on, so that you can just be aware of it. I'm not asking for anything. I get enough support. I've got the best friends I've ever had: Daniel, Crystal, Nick, Logan. I've never had better friends in my life around me, and they protect me and they're with me every day. Daniel checks up on me every day, always comes around, always. So does Nick. Nick does health protocols with me every day. In fact, we did cupping. We've been doing cupping, where you suck, where you put cups on your skin and you suck all the stagnant blood out of the skin. I've shaved my head on the Libra new moon, and he did my head. So I've got these bruises on my head as well. So, that's the friend, Nick. Can you imagine? He's doing cupping and sucking all his blood, and when you're dealing with other people's blood, it's it's a bit messy, and that's the kind of friends that I've got around me. These guys really love me, and I've never been more blessed with the best friends. So I'm just bringing this awareness to people. It's also going to help you to, understand me better and astrology better. This is very good. Notice how I have a packed 7th house. Well, we already know that the 6th house is the house of ill health. The 7th house is the house of health, good health. That's why I'm a very healthy guy. I've never had a disease in my life. Never. I've never had anything. Not a problem, except for irritable bowel syndrome and chronic fatigue syndrome, which are both connected to each other. And I learnt that thanks to 12th century astrologer Guido Bonatti. Sounds like Bonacci, except it's got two T's. In Guido Bonatti's book, one of the best astrological books ever, you will learn that the 7th house is the house of health, divination, astrology, spiritual science, and theology. Well, wouldn't you know, mine's packed. Now, how many astrologers do you know tell you that the 7th house is the house of the diviner? I don't know any. I've never met an astrologer. I tell them that all the time. And I say, where'd you get that from? I've never seen that. Yeah, well, I read ancient books. You don't. You read the Copernican Globetard books, the astrologers that think that the moon is a rock, you know, that astronauts go and land on with their little cake mixer helicopters and play golf and drive around their dune buggies and call President Dickey to ask him how Watergate's going. And we can't even get mobile reception between a tower over there, 50 metres away, and you're on a brand new phone over here, and he's talking on a landline to these golf-playing, moonwalking cake mixer guys there, with aluminium foil fucking Disney toy that they landed on the moon with. You know, there are astrologers who actually follow Copernicus, who really think that the moon is travelling at 650 million miles an hour. Wow. I don't know an astrologer, I've never met one, who knows that this is the house of divination, spiritual science, the high priest, theology, and health. But the DC, this is a very, very, very dangerous point. This is death, guys. This is the sun setting. And this is midnight, this is the tomb. This is where death happens as well, the 4th house and the 6th house. But the DC is very, very dangerous. I'm going to go, here's where, when my son was born 29 years ago. This is his birthday right here, 30th of September, coming up in 2 days, 1992. And there's Aquarius. And I remember that year as well, I really, really struggled the year my son was born. It's very sad, but I had a lot of pressure by my parents-in-law. They were lunatics, so I had to move out of Melbourne and go up to the country to get away, and I suffered immensely in my first Saturn return. So here's my first Saturn return, guys. Just check it out. You can go any time around. I'd go a little bit later than September. I'd go try December and see what happens. But I can tell you that the whole year, my 29th year, and the first year of my son's birth was heavy going. And yeah, well, this one's my birthday. Yeah, this one here, of course. I've already shown you this. This is when my second decline in March this year, because I restored my health from the December attack, which was the worst ever. I nearly died. Some of you may remember I hallucinated for 10 days, from the 28th of December to the 7th of January. I even did a live. I'm so embarrassed. I even got on my channel and did a live because I was hallucinating that police were coming to get me and to kill me, and I could see them. It was totally an AI hallucination, guys. It was not a natural hallucination. The AI system is alive and well. Trust me. Those 10 days, I learnt a lot about the AI world. It's alive and well. It's called the net, the internet. You see, before the internet was called the internet, guys, it was called the Ethernet. That's why for 100 years the Jesuits have been trying to destroy the teaching of the Ethernet. And yet it's been proven that the ether exists. Einstein supposedly destroyed the ether, and you'll have fools like Craig from FTFE channel and Professor Dave and sci-fi man Dan, who say, oh, the ether doesn't exist, because that's what they teach in school, right? They teach that the ether doesn't exist. The reason they don't want you to believe in the ether, guys, is because that's where your computers and your phones and all your brain and everything gets all its information. That's how we communicate with each other. Sure, our voices communicate through the air, but there are 5 elements. The first one's the ether, then the fire, then the air, then the water, and then the earth. Ether is opposite earther, ether and earther. And the ether is God, it's the field. That's why you have an Ethernet cable going to your computer. Why did they, in the 50s, why did they change the word from Ethernet to internet? Because once you remove the ether, then you can pretend that you've got technology that works through wires and cables and through GPS and satellites, whereas they already had Tartarian technology. They already had... Oh, God damn, I hate that noise. Fuck. All right. By the way, yeah, you can see the day I released... if you go to my channel, see here, the introduction to Sam Best Method. A lot of people wrote to me saying, are you all right? Because you don't see myself. There's construction noise out there, and there was that day. If you see me here, you can see I lost my concentration all throughout this presentation. I ruined it. Even though I got 17,000 hits here, that's pretty good. But you'll see the comments where people say, you don't look yourself. Well, that's because I was attacked that night, but I went ahead and did the presentation. Brenda, can you please pull that blind down? Because I just can't stand it. It's fucking noise. You know that the noise I'm talking about is when the blind, please. You know the noise when those trucks go backwards and it goes doot doot doot. You know that noise? That pitch there, it is known to be extremely agitating. Now, do you think? I think one person was squashed by a bus that was going backwards. So that worldwide they implemented this doot 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 whenever big vehicles going backwards. Now there's construction happening over the road here, and the dickhead that is operating that machine, I think he just keeps it in reverse all day. And my house is just down the road, so all day I'm listening to doot, 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 and it's the most fucking irritating frequency in existence, and they did that deliberately. They did it deliberately. You see what they're doing, guys? Do you really think that every truck has to beep every time it goes backward? How stupid are people that they need to be? Forward is dangerous enough, right? It's like they have to control everything. You see how much control there is in this world and how satanic and sick it is? This is why they're trying to stop me from getting these this Sam Best Method out, because as I told you, it's going to be a game changer. Once I get these out, which will be very, very soon, hopefully, it will be the end of globe tartary and all of allopathy and all of this fucking stupidity that this world is suffering under forever. I promise you. You will have the keys to the kingdom. You will have that gold delivered by that donkey to your door. You'll have treasure beyond your belief. I'm taking this to the next level, and they know it. The God of this world, Satan and Lucifer and the AI God, knows what I'm about to unleash on this world in terms of knowledge and liberating people and humanity. And hence, this is the reason why I've had to cancel 6 weeks, I think, in a row. due to the torture, the sheer torture of every Wednesday because of their logarithm and trying to stop what's coming out. And you'll see, after Volume 3 comes out, you'll see how the world will change. As within, as without, guys. What I'm suffering inside is what's going on outside. There are hurricanes, volcanoes, earthquakes, shortages. They sabotaged the Russian pipeline. Joe Biden sabotaged it yesterday and admitted it. Even told the world that he was going to do it, and they did it. So Europe has no Russian resources for energy. They're really going all out, man. There was a 7.7 earthquake here, just a few hundred miles away from where I am in Mexico last week. Florida's waiting for tsunamis and hurricanes right now. They've evacuated Florida. We had here on the Caribbean here, we had a hurricane warning, which the beach is overflowing with water. It's swelling. And the Caribbean is swelling. You can't walk on. This morning I couldn't walk on the beach. My feet were sinking in the sand because there's so much water gushing over the dry sand. Just look around the world and see what's happening. As within, so without, guys. What is going on in the world is how you're feeling as well. I know you guys are suffering as well. I know you're all enduring. Some of you are probably enduring much more than I am and thinking, what the hell is he complaining about? He's got an itch, you know. He loses some sleep, you know. I'm probably talking to quadriplegics. I'm probably talking to, damaged people beyond repair, and they're sitting there listening, hopeless, dying, poor, homeless, no job, no food. I had a conversation with one of the sisters from Colorado yesterday. She was savaged by police, handcuffed brutally. 2 weeks ago, her fingertips are still numb because this female policeman just ravaged her, and they jailed her, and she's now defecating blood, and she's got to go to court, and they did this all for nothing. So there are people. I mean, there are people out there way worse than me. I haven't got police throwing me in jail here. I've got friends all around me. So it's not all bad, right? And I'm not here complaining. I'm here explaining. Because how do you think I feel when we advertise? Oh, Santos is about to do Volume 1, Same Best Method, and then it gets cancelled. I don't like looking like a fool. I don't like being embarrassing syncretism and the gods by saying I'm going to do something and then cancel. Yeah? You can imagine how bad I feel already. I'm shaking. I look like death warmed up, and I have to cancel. And then I go home. I have to go home and think of all the people that was like, oh man, I put those 2 hours aside, and he just cancelled. Who knows why? Probably some fickle reason, or no. I want you guys to know. I really, really, really want you guys to know, and for educational purposes as well, because you're going to learn a lot today. I promise you. How are we going for time? Good. Yeah, I've got plenty of time. Okay. That construction noise is still going, of course. Please look at this video. Smart meters, autism, silent weapons for quiet wars. Deborah Tavares, guys. This is all. Deborah Tavares has been exposing the government. she found all the government documents where they admit that they torture people, and that everyone is a specific case. You will be tortured with brain fog. Your sister will be tortured with loss of memory. Your mother will be tortured with depression. Your brother will be obese. Your other sister will be anorexic. Your neighbour will be suicidal. It's not all the same thing, and they do that deliberately so that not everyone. So if everybody was depressed, then they'd say, "All right, something's wrong. Let's get together and work this out." No, they can't, because the depressed guy is looking at an obese guy, who's looking at an anorexic guy, who's talking with a suicidal guy, and everyone has a different frequency, specific. And Deborah Tavares has discovered that they do this in an intelligent way to keep us compartmentalised, so we can't organise. But we're going to beat them, guys. I'm not here to put fear into you. I'm here to prepare you for the war that's to come. Okay? Because you and I, we're going to win together. We're going to win in glory, because we've got eternity, and they're running out of time. They're running out of time. Okay? And they think they are better than us, and they can do this without our consent. No way, motherfuckers. You're going to hell with my blessing. Rest assured, you are going to hell, each and every one of you who are pressing those buttons that are torturing me and my brothers and sisters on this plane. And God-loving, beautiful individuals, which we all are. Rest assured, I'll be there right next to God on Judgment Day with Excalibur in my right hand. And I will gleefully remove your head with that sword. And pray, everyone, that I get given that job. Not Michael, not Gabriel, not Samael. Pray that I get that job. Because, man, I'm gonna. If I have Excalibur in my hand, and those adrenochrome pedophiles are there on Judgment Day, those motherfuckers, they will regret it for the rest of eternity. And they will remember the name Santos Bonacci. It will be echoing in their head in hell forever and ever and ever. Please pray that I get the gig. It will be the most happy day of my life to be able to remove these demons who, without any authority, have usurped our peace and freedom and health and prosperity, and taken the kingdom of Tartaria away from us and given us the New World Order based on a moving globe. The most stupid and pathetic teaching ever. And people believe it, all these idiots who think they're smart. Like Professor Dave. What a dumb fuck. What shame he's bringing to his ancestors. Like every culture knew that the earth was stationary. All the sacred scriptures tell you that the earth is firm and stationary and shall never move 1 inch. And God will never make it move forever. And we can trust that this earth will never move. Only when there's an earthquake does it move. And that's only a few millimeters. But rest assured, if you don't have enough brain cells in your brain and intelligence to realise with 5 minutes of meditation that the earth is dead still, then you're a fucking dickhead. And you deserve a bullet in the head. And I would gleefully do it to any globe-tard, not an ignorant one. Anyone who has spent more than 10 minutes researching flat earth and still thinks he's on a globe, I'll be glad to put a bullet between your eyes and blow your brains out. And I won't have any remorse, because you deserve it. You're a dumb fuck. Born stupid and you probably die stupid. That goes for Cullen Smith, Mark Passio, who was born in a brothel, and all of these, Mike Sala, Jesuit coagitator, and all these other moron and idiots who are out there. Nassim Harriman as well, thinks he's so smart, globetard. I'm going to put them to shame. After volume 3 of Sam Best's method, these guys are going to get their panties pulled down, and their private little bits, their small little bits that they're hiding, are going to be exposed to the world. And I will push them up the bottom of their Santa ball, flying through space at Mach 870,000. Now, there is no material known to man that can withstand, I don't know, 20 Mach, I believe. The fastest jet does about 3.5 Mach. And they can't make anything stronger than that to resist that. And a sod of dirt wrapped in soft water with stable oceans and butterflies flying around and a molten core, iron molten core, is flying at Mach 870,000. This sort of dirt we're living on, and we're not vibrating or shaking. How fucking stupid do you got to be, man? These guys are stone, motherless, dumb as dog shit, sons of whores. Yes, their mothers too, yeah. Their whole lineage. Their whole lineage is stupid. Starting from their mothers. That's where they get their stupidity from. From their mothers and fathers. And they keep that stupidity and insist that we're flying at 870,000 Mach. And yet there is nothing that can resist more than 20 Mach. There's no material known to man. And yet a sod of dirt with sand and water and butterflies and trees and leaves is flying at 650 million miles an hour. And people say, where do you get the idea we're going that fast, Santos? Isn't it 1,000 miles an hour? Well, you see, this is how stupid they are. You have to actually teach them the model that they don't know, the Santa ball model that they believe in that they don't know. You see, in their model there are 4 motions, stupid globetards that are now listening, like Mark Passio and Craig from FTFE and Cullen Smith, the ugliest and stupidest man who was ever born in a brothel. That's the rotation of the Earth. 1,000 miles an hour. Then there's the first orbit, then there's the superior orbit, and then there's an ultimate orbit. And you don't even know that. You don't even know what your own model teaches. That's how fucking stupid you are. You're going to get your panties pulled down real bad soon, guys. You're going to look so stupid. You know how many people are waking up? How many professional people, pilots are coming out now, government officials even, presidents of countries, they're saying the Earth's flat. Astronauts, all Russian astronauts, all of them, they're all admitting that the Earth is flat. It's flat. We've got scientists who have proven exclusively, conclusively, George Airy, Sagnac, Michelson-Morley, that the Earth is stationary. Pierluigi Gina, Marconi, the inventor of the radio, they all have proven the Earth does not fucking move. So where do I get Mach 870,000? Well, so we've got the rotation, then you've got the orbit around the sun, 66,000 mile an hour. That's Mach 88. Just that alone, the Earth orbiting around the sun, Mach 88 is impossible. Just that. but just the first orbit. Then you've got the superior orbit of the Sun rotating around the centre of the Milky Way galaxy at 550,000 miles an hour. And then you've got the ultimate orbit of the Milky Way galaxy orbiting around the central sun of the universe at 650 million miles an hour, which is 870,000 fucking Mach. And you think you are living on a on a sod of dirt that's doing that speed? Well, I tell you right now, remember the name Santos Bonacci, and you are a dumb C-U-N-T, and tattoo that on your head, you dumb fuck. Because you and your ignorance are what's causing all of the havoc and all of the stupidity and all of these demons upon us, because the greatest lie and the worst lie is the globe lie. As you will see one day when you wake up and you get your panties pulled down, globetards, you are the ones who are holding us back, you Neanderthal pigs. Swine and degenerates. And I'm going to come after you, all right? And Cullen Smith, and in the dictionary forever, in the new world, next to stupid and ugly will be the name Cullen Smith. And son of a whore will be Mark Passio. And a picture of his ugly head. That guy's a demon. I don't know how people can say, oh, whoa, listen to Mark Passio. What the fuck for? The guy's the dumbest fuck in the universe. Why would you listen to that stupid idiot? Upside down spinning ejaculator. His left hand, you'll see him writing with his right hand, his left hand will be in his pants masturbating while he's talking to you, ejaculating. Rest assured, that's Mark Passio. Okay, he's an ejaculator. And he dared to say 5 years ago that every flat earther's mother is a whore. Yeah, he said that on Facebook. He said that on video because people were saying, "Hey, why don't you talk about the flat Earth, Mark?" Everyone's waking up to it. You know, all your contemporary truthers are talking about the flat Earth, but you're silent. What's the matter, Mark? So he went out and cursed every flat earther and said that their mothers are whores. You know why? Well, that's because his mother is one. Find out who she is. You'll find out he was born in a brothel. Okay? I want you to listen to this, guys.
A family member against you.
So, everyone in the United States, so if you look,
This is
a summary of...
This is how we are being targeted. I want you to listen to this, please. This is very important. I can send you this. If you send me an email, I will send you this.
So, everyone in the United States, so if you look, a summary of our main message is, number one, everyone in the United States, and it appears to be most of the world, being tracked by certain satellites. These satellites are called GPS satellites, and they are the latest technology. All of this is done with a top secret clearance. They have more than 190 satellites under their direct control. They track the precise location of every U.S. citizen by bouncing a microwave beam right here on the top back part of your head. And if you place your hand there firmly, put your knuckles right above it, you can actually feel the microwave pulses. They're about once per second. Everyone in the United States is tracked. Every person that I have tested with my own hand, I can feel the microwave pulse. These weapons produce a microwave scalar beam. In other words, this is a new type of technology that operates under a very mysterious wave. It's called a scalar wave. It is apparently part of the deep state plan to monitor, track, and surveil everyone on the planet. They aren't particular just to U.S. citizens. We have found that this is a global program. About a year ago, I counted more than 60 countries that have sent us emails from individuals saying they're also being attacked in these similar methods that we've described. So there's the gang stalking, there's the directed energy weapons that I've just described, and there's another thing that's very debilitating to approximately 2/3 of the targeted individual community, and it's called voice to skull, or V2K. This is a technology that was actually developed in the early 1960s by a scientist by the name of Dr. Alan Fry, and it's called the Fry effect. And
can everybody hear this clearly? Someone talk, please. Can you hear this clearly?
No, not really.
You might have to click share audio.
Share audio.
Want me to show?
Yeah, please. This is very important. Yeah, jump in, guys, if you can't see anything or hear anything. Because
Do you mind?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so
I've got some help here in the studio, guys. All right.
let's try that.
Let's try this. Okay.
How do they do that? How do they turn a family member against you?
so everyone in the United States, so if you look,
Is that loud and clear?
Immensely, thank you.
Good?
a summary of our main message is, number one, everyone in the United States, and it appears to be most of the world, are being tracked by certain satellites. And these satellites are called GPS satellites. And they are the latest technology. All of this is done with a top secret clearance. They have more than 190 satellites under their direct control. They track the precise location of every US citizen by bouncing a microwave beam right here on the top back part of your head. And if you place your hand there firmly, put your knuckles right above it, you can actually feel the microwave pulses. They're about once per second. Everyone in the United States is tracked. Every person that I have tested with my own hand, I can feel the microwave pulse. And these weapons produce a microwave scalar beam. In other words, this is a new type of technology that operates under a very mysterious wave. It's called a scalar wave. And it is apparently part of the deep state plan to monitor, track, and surveil everyone on the planet.
Oh, okay, great.
They aren't particular just to US citizens. We have found that this is a global program. About a year ago, I counted more than 60 countries that have sent us emails from individuals saying they're also being attacked in these similar methods that we've described. So there's the gang stalking, there's the directed energy weapons that I've just described, and there's another thing that's very debilitating to approximately 2/3 of the targeted individual community, and it's called voice to skull, or V2K. This is a technology that was actually developed in the early 1960s by a scientist by the name of Dr. Alan Fry, and it's called the Fry effect. And they can literally take this microwave beam.
Lost your screen share.
Citizen as a subliminal message. It is broadcast from cell towers 24.
No.
Got it back.
Oh, did it cut out though?
Yeah, cut up for give or take 5-10 seconds. Maybe a little more.
1960s by a scientist by the name of Dr. Alan Fry, and it's called the Fry effect. And they can literally take this microwave beam and point it anywhere on your skull, and you will be the only one that will hear the voices. that come through it. So you stand there and say, there's somebody cussing me out and calling me horrible names 24 hours a day. You cannot switch it off. There's no firewall for your mind. And the technology is very real. They're using the same technology on every US citizen as a subliminal message. It is broadcast from cell towers 24 hours a day. Very disturbing. And a federal judge has already ruled that subliminal messaging is illegal because it's an invasion of privacy. Yet we still have not convinced enough of the public that this is real, that everyone in the United States is technically a targeted individual. Your location is being tracked very precisely, and they're beaming messages at your head subliminally 24 hours a day. And there was a scientist by the name of Dr. Ross Adey, A-D-E-Y. You can look him up. He worked for the CIA many years ago, back in the 1950s and 1960s. There's a class action lawsuit in Canada right now that involves this man because he did horrible things to a whole class of Canadian citizens, where he did these microwave tests on them, fried their brains, and was able to program them just like you program a computer, using these techniques of subliminal messaging into the mind. You can create a secondary personality that can be switched on and off like a button. Class action lawsuit right now in Canada that's trying to address this CIA-funded doctor. And he did grisly experiments. He bragged once that he could turn anyone into a serial killer. Primarily from the cell phone towers. They can also emit messages from satellites as well, because they're tracking you very precisely. So that same wave can act as a carrier wave to carry messages at your head 24 hours a day. It can be used to say, hey, vote for this person over and over and over. So your earlier question that I don't think I answered was, how can they manipulate the family members? It's done with subliminal messaging 24 hours a day coming from cell towers. Most people can actually feel it, but if you'll circle your arm around, the microwave beams are projected at the center of your head, and you can actually feel the heating in your knuckles right in this area. When you hold it between your head and a cell tower, you'll feel a pulse right here on the heating. Actually, you can feel it in the cartilage of your knuckles. It's very sensitive there. And you can go all the 360 degrees around you and feel the microwave. You can pick out where a cell tower is, direct locations. Every cell tower within several miles of you is broadcasting a beam at your head and sending you subliminal messages. Most people are not aware. We've recorded some of these. You can actually get a microphone and point it at a cell tower, and it will demodulate the voice. And some are horrible messages saying you hate yourself, you're fat, you're ugly, broadcast 24 hours a day.
God.
Yes, this is very real. We've recorded these messages. We've got some on our website. This is not just happening to targeted individuals. Everyone in the United States is being precisely tracked and being hit with subliminal messages 24 hours a day. Unfortunately, there's a patent called remote neural monitoring, and we've got it listed on our website. I don't recall the precise number, but it describes in detail how they can read your brain waves by intersecting two signals in your brain. And there's a differential that's created by your brain waves, and they can read that back from a cell tower or a satellite. And over a period of weeks or months, they can literally read most of the thoughts of your mind. What they do to TIs typically is they'll take your old spouse, you're divorced, they'll take your old spouse's voice, mimic it, and use it to harass you. But the main thing that people should know, the ordinary citizens should know, is put up a block in your subconscious mind. I will only react to constructive suggestions. That can certainly be helpful. Or I will ignore all subliminal messages.
Two months.
Found in antibiotic pills.
You can see these tiny little particles just settling. And then we put the magnet up to it and let's see what happens. And I was quite shocked actually. So it almost looks like a school of fish, just being pulled along by the magnet.
It even leaves a trail behind it.
Yeah.
These are in all quote unquote medications, guys. Please take note. You know what I mean by medications. And in the next part, she shows graphene oxide in the same. Let's do this.
And then I put it on the slide onto my microscope.
Under the microscope, she saw this entity. Look at this entity. Can you see this demon here, guys? That's what she found in these pharmaceuticals. They're putting graphene oxide in there. We've been poisoned. It's in the chemtrails. Please remember to go to Deborah Tavares, Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. This is a big disclosure by the governments. They're getting very brazen now and they don't care because people are so stupid and poisoned and toxic toxic that they've got no idea. Should I stop that thing, Kitan? Yeah, I don't need it anymore.
Go ahead.
Alright, yeah, please, brother. Alright, I'm going to continue on, guys. I've got a lot more to share with you. So, you've just seen, I can share hundreds of these videos. Please do your own research, guys. Please know that you are being attacked daily. Daily, without your consent and permission. This is highly unlawful. This is pure evil. This demon AI monster beast is out of control. Why am I telling you this? To make you scared? No, the Jedi has no fear. Knowledge. You will know the truth and the truth will set you free. You need to know these things. I'm telling you to forearm you. To prepare you. If you're in a war, you send your scouts out ahead. You send spies ahead. They might catch a couple of spies and kill them, but one might get away and come back and say, hey, be careful, they've got an army 10 times the size of yours. The Greeks, for instance, 47,000 against 2 million Persians. They smashed the Persians because of the phalanx. Alexander the Great had the phalanx and no one could defeat the Greeks. And they sent their spies out. And they knew that Xerxes and Darius had 2 million of the best fighters on the planet. But the Greeks, they weren't scared. It was only 47,000 and they reached India. They penetrated India. They went straight through Persia, slaughtered everything, burned all the cities, controlled all of the world up to India. And Alexander came back and died in Babylon at the age of 33. David and Goliath. David said, who is this enemy of Jehovah that he should taunt the God of Israel? Goliath was taunting the God of Israel, and David said, I'll take his head off. And so they put this armour on him, and he said, take it off, I don't want any armour. I've got God with me. He said, just give me a slingshot. I've got a slingshot. I'm going to go to the river and get some stones. He got 4 polished stones. With the first stone, he flung it at Goliath's head and knocked him over dead. Straight over to Goliath, picked up his massive, Goliath was this giant, right? Picked up his sword and just cut his head off. So we are the 47,000 elite Greeks, and we're going to win the war. But we need this knowledge, and we need to be prepared. Don't think that you're all right because you've got a job and you've got plenty of food in the fridge and things are going okay. You may be. It may be your destiny that you will be protected and cushioned and to some degree you may be what's the word? I can't think of the right word, but you may not suffer what a lot of other people are suffering. For instance, people in Ukraine right now, right? Well, we're over here. I'm in Mexico. There's no war here. I'm not suffering in that way. They're getting slaughtered on the streets, man. They're getting slaughtered. There are people freezing in Europe. They can't pay their bills. They're homeless. Freezing on the streets. There's riots on the streets. Italy is about to change government, and they're trying to slander this woman, this great woman who's come in, and they're calling her a fascist. And they're pulling down the EU flag all over Italy, pulling it down, and they're putting the Italian flag up, and they're saying fuck you to the UN, and they're saying fuck you to Klaus Schwab, and we're going with our nation and our God and our traditions and our food and our people, and we're not joining your fucking club. You can shove it up where the sun don't shine. That's what's happening in my country, Italy. Right? And that's what we're going to do. 49% of my viewership is from the US of A, and you are armed people. I would suggest you sharpen your pitchforks, buy ammunition, buy a lot of guns. And don't be afraid to use it, because you have every right to defend yourself. Every right. And you have a right to organise with your community militias. You have every right to storm the council meetings and remove politicians who are not serving you, but are serving the interests of the globalists. You have every single right, because they have already attacked you. You are now defending yourself. You've already seen that you are being, officially, you are being attacked. You're being attacked, guys. And rest assured, I know how it feels, man. And I don't care if they come after me. I may lose my channel, so share this far and wide now. I may lose my channel because I've done a lot of cursing. And I've done a lot of exposing here. This may get me my second strike. I'm on a strike at the moment. But I don't care. YouTube can go to hell. I feel like a dirty whore standing on the corner, just having this channel. And it's monetized. I make money from all the ads. I feel like a dirty prostitute just having this channel. So if YouTube decides to throw me off, good, they'll make history. Because one day it will be history that they tried to shut down Santos Bonacci, who was in the lineage of David, King David. Because I'm of the same blood. And I know I'm a Jedi. And I know I'm going to win, and I know I'm going to judge these guys' asses. And I know I'm going to remove a lot of heads. A lot of heads. And it's going to be glorious. It's going to be glorious. Remember October the 13th, 2019? He thought, well, I'm going to go kill me a little skinny Italian runt that I don't like. That's what I'm going to do. And he got dead in 15 minutes. Real good and real quick. And it was so clear cut, what's the word, the case. I spent 5 minutes telling the police, the detectives what I did. And then when in the hospital, another detective took another report from me. It took 5 minutes. The next day, I drove to Montague, California, and I never heard a beep from the police again. That's how clear it was that I was innocent. I didn't even have to go to court. I didn't have to answer one question after that day. And that's the power that you have as well, and the protection that you have. I knew from that day that I had angels with me. That was not me. If you had seen how skinny I was and how big that guy was, he was double my size, guys. I felt the angels around me. Molly saw angels for 3 weeks in her left eye. Through her left eye, a veil was opened, and the angels were coaching her and showing her and coaching her how to relieve herself of the trauma. She's still getting treatments for her head injuries. Down to this day. And so she saw. I didn't see any angels. I felt his demons. I knew that demons were with him. I tried to reason with him. I tried to tell him, Stephen, you're going to jail. Stop. Don't do this. Just stop. Why do you want to kill us? No amount of reasoning worked. But my angels orchestrated the whole event. And just like Goliath, he fell in his own pool of blood. I didn't plan any of that. I just woke up and heard this noise. And I knew because of the texting that he planned to come and kill me, Molly, and her dog with a sharp knife and a baseball bat. He'd been saying this for 2 weeks. So I knew when I heard that noise that I've got to go in there and save Molly because she's probably already half dead. See if I can at least save her. That's all I knew. I didn't look around for weapons. I had no time because I knew she was screaming for help. That scream was the worst scream I've ever heard in my life. Oh, I haven't mentioned what happened last year on the 16th of October, 2021. On the same day that my ex-girlfriend's house got burnt down, she survived. On the 16th of October, last year, I had a home robbery and they stole my computer. I lost 9 months of unbacked work. It broke my heart. The worst thing you could do is steal my computer. That's because everything syncretism comes from my computer. And the worst thing that could possibly happen. In fact, that was the most traumatic of the 3 events. Still to this day, every time I'm out of my house, all I think about is someone's breaking into my home. I can't go and have a holiday. I'm still traumatised by that breaking, more so than 2019. In fact, I don't think I've spent more than 5 seconds of remorse. I don't even think I had any remorse about what happened with that guy. He deserved it. He was killing a 5'2", innocent, beautiful woman. He was murdering her. And he deserved what he got. I have no remorse at all. Never have, and I never will. And if I get the gig to remove like Satan Klaus's head off, and King Charles, and Biden, and the Bushes and the Clintons, I will not have any remorse. It will be the most pleasurable thing. In fact, I'll be first in line, and that will be the most exciting and the most inspiring thing that I will put on my list of things to do before I die. Pray that I get that big, guys. I've already got it. I've already exposed everything wicked of this system. The sovereignty, the birth certificate scam, the Jesus historical bullshit scam, the Jesuits abattoirs and the flesh eating, and telling people that we've been eating and murdering and butchering and eating rotting corpses forever. That's a lie. Read Gerald Massey, Godfrey Higgins, and the real historians who say that they realise that flesh eating is only a couple of 100 years old, since the Jesuits started their New World Order with the globe. You see why I'm so angry against globies? Like Elijah, who slew the prophets of Baal in the valley of Kishon, so will I slay the globies. I will slay every one of them. Get me some of these globetrotters like Professor Dave and Sci-Fi Mandan, Psyop Mandan, Pseudo-Sci Mandan. Get me Mark Passio. Get me one of these sons of whores. Get them all of them. Get all the best globetrotters together against me. I'll take them all on and destroy them within seconds. First question will be, how the fuck do you think you're flying on a solid dirt at Mach 870,000? And we don't see random stars every day. And yet for thousands of years, boring old Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, etc. go around and around and around Polaris in circles forever and ever and ever, and no star increases in luminosity and no star disappears from the sky, and yet every single fucking year we have moved 6.5 trillion miles. If we're flying at 650 million miles every hour, every year we've moved from this spot here, we have moved 6.5 trillion miles through space. You don't feel a bump, you don't feel a vibration, you don't feel anything. You just feel dead, still. And the stars are still the same stars that were recorded 450,000 years ago by the Egyptians. Sirius is still the same, hasn't moved. Canis Major, Alcyone, Polaris. In fact, the Georgia Guidestones had a hole in the Georgia Guidestones, and you could sit there all night and just watch Polaris in that hole. How come Polaris doesn't get brighter? And how do you think that your eyes that are so limited, that can't see without glasses, that can't see more than a few hundred miles, how do you believe that you can see a star that's 650 trillion light years away? You fucking idiot. Really? Are you that fucking stupid? Do you have any brain cells that are alive in your head, you globetard? Why do you think I hate you so much? Why? Because you are the retarded fucking morons, Neanderthals, that are holding us back. Once we expose the globe, the false globe, then the globalists go down. And who are your enemies? I'll tell you who. Have you heard of global warming, global agenda, global lockdowns, global community, global economy, global community, global governance, global religion, and there's no fucking globe? You stupid Santa ballers. You're the dumb fucks They're keeping us all retarded. You all need to be slain in the valley of Kishon. You all need to be slain. I'm going to make you look so fucking stupid, all you globies, all of you. Michael Sala, fucking retard. From the Galactic Federation, this Michael Sala. What a dumb fuck. That's a son of a whore. What do you think, his mother was a decent woman? He was born in a hospital. He was born in a brothel. He's a Jesuit coadjutor. Anyone who's a globie is working for the Jesuits. Okay? And it will be them that will kill me, ultimately, for saying these things. It will be them. It will be the Jesuits. They're the ones who already have put me in jail twice. Because I know my stuff and I know who's running the show. And the Jesuits, Copernicus was a Jesuit and he dedicated his book to the founder of the Jesuits. So Pope Paul III, Alessandro Farnese, the richest family in history, creates the Jesuits. 2 years later, Copernicus, which they were funding and pushing and promoting to preach globalism, and he didn't want to. He died, and the book was published after his death, but in the intro he dedicated it. He dedicated it to Alessandro Farnese. Guys, can you see that Copernicus was a Jesuit? Do you understand that your globe model, the New World Order? You call the flat Earth the New World Order, yeah? You don't even know what the New World Order is. The old world was everybody was living in, were way smarter than you. They could build Gothic cathedrals and pyramids, and they all knew that the Earth was stationary. And you dumb fucks, listen to Copernicus, the Jesuits, the one who are behind Big Pharma, the lockdowns, the pandemic, everything. The Freemasons, everything, murderous, the most murderous. They've killed every president in the US, JFK, Lincoln. They're behind every evil in the universe. And you support their globe. Well, I'm going to bring it down single-handedly, guys. And you're going down with it, and you're going to fall off the bottom of your Santa ball. And you're going to look so stupid in the meantime. I'm going to make sure you look stupid. I'm going to go after you, and after you, and after you, forever, and ever, and ever. And even in hell, when you're there for 1 trillion years, you will be, my name will be ringing in your ears. And you deserve it. You deserve it. You won't escape it. All you globetards, you're the worst scum of the earth. And that's why we're in this situation that we're in. Globetardery. And that's why people are being tortured and massacred. And World War III is on because of globetards. Number one reason, globetardery. Okay? You guys are more culpable than anyone else, and you're liars, and you're using your platforms to teach lies. You are liars and deceivers, and you will get your just deserts, and I will make sure of it. Okay? I'm already tormenting you before you go to hell, so that you'll never have a night where you can go and lay your head on your pillow without hearing my name cursing you. You will go to sleep with Santos Bonacci in your head ringing, cursing you, calling you a globetard, and pushing you off the bottom of your flying Santa ball. A sod of dirt with an iron core flying at 870,000 Mach. Nothing can go that fast. Nothing. And not disintegrate. Nothing. Nothing can go more than 30, 40 Mach, let alone 870,000 Mach. You retarded gnats. You are the ones I will go after first and mostly. Not the adrenochrome pedophiles. You're worse than them. Because you keep their model alive. You keep the globalists, your own enemies, alive. Like these good, well-intentioned parents who bring their 5-year-old children to get these nice new medications because Uncle Sam said they're safe. Come on, 5-year-old son. And 5-year-old son says, no, mummy, I don't want these. I don't. Then they're crying all the way up to the moment of the injection, the lethal injection. And the children know better than the parents. No, son, this is for our protection. It's for the collective. It's better if you do than if you don't. It's safer, and you're protecting other people. Smart parents, aren't they, globetards? You're the same as these smart parents, you globetards. You're murdering the truth, like they murder their children. Two sets of stupid idiots. And I don't do stupid. The greatest thing I hate is stupid. That's the number one thing that I hate. Stupid. And all you globetards, look at yourselves in the mirror. Look at yourselves in the eyes, in the mirrors, and see what stupid looks like. Okay? You are murdering the truth. Do 10 minutes of research. Do 10 minutes of research and get off the flying ball and stop supporting the globalists and the Third World War. And let's get back to some peace and some harmony and some freedom and some love. And you will end your own torture and save yourself from the disgrace of saying to your grandchildren one day, oh yes, I was a globetard right up until the day it became official again that the earth was stationary and horizontal, as the Bible says 49 times. All you Christians who are laughing at me right now, that are going to church, that are listening to this and you're laughing at me, read your own Bible. Read Psalm 19 where it says, and I have made the firmament and the terra firma, and it shall never be made to totter, and it shall never move, and it is stationary and firm. Do you know what planet means? It's a French word. It means flat. Do you know what the word planet means? It means flat, plane. Plane is something that is flat. Do you know what terra firma means? Firm means still. You live, and you're so smart, you say, well, I'm living on terra firma. And you're so fucking dumb that you don't even know that firma means still. It means still. Dead still. So you're living on terra firma and you're living on a planet and you're still a globetard. And the words are staring at you right in the face. That's how dumb you are. And that's how much you are murdering the truth, like those good, well-intentioned parents who bring their little children straight over to get their new medications. All right, I've got 2 more minutes. I started 2 minutes late. No worries, man. No one's in a hurry. All right, I'm being told by the producers of the show that I have to end. All right. Well, I don't know. I've got a hunch I'm going to get in trouble with this video, but maybe I'll put it on private for a bit and edit all the dangerous bits. But you know what? I don't care. It'll go up on BitChute. Follow me there. I'm on Rumble, BitChute. Let's get away from YouTube anyway. They're just a bunch of motherfuckers. That's all they are. They're useless eaters. And they're listening to me right now. I know they are. They're all useless eaters and useful idiots. The world is full of useless idiots, useless eaters and useful idiots. Full of them. So I don't care. At least 435 people have heard this. And save it, please, guys. Please save it. Please, please save it. And put it on other platforms, because I know I'm going to get a strike and probably lose my channel. And I don't care. Because YouTube is the whore of Babylon. And they're running out of time. And everybody's off YouTube anyway. They've all gone over to BitChute and Rumble and Odyssey. That's where I am. And I'll be growing those channels where there's more freedom. All right, guys. I hope you've been able to absorb my torture and anger. And being able to keep your relative peace. I don't mean to disturb anyone's peace. But just know that I'm not the only one that is in this situation. You all are. We're all in this together. So whether your ears have been bruised today or not, the truth is the truth. Thank you. Until next time. Take care.